We are recapping Bridgerton, and this is season 3, episode 4. The Featheringtons are all a Twitter. 1, because Philippa thinks she's pregnant, and 2, because Lord Debling has come to call on Pen. Peep Pen's shit-eating grin. It's so satisfying. He brought her a plant, and now I'm kind of wondering if his love for nature is a metaphor for something. He asks Pen why she likes to sit in that window seat, and she says, I don't know, I guess I just enjoy the view, but not so much lately. And I know that Colin's not here to hear it, but I hope that he felt the sting of that burn in whatever brothel he's currently disassociating in. Actually, he's in his house rereading his own smut, which, relatable. Benedict pays a little visit to his hot widow, and I'm just, he's so cute. At the Bridgerton house, they're all preparing for a visit from Lord Samadani, who is the Queen's pick for Francesca. And they get a visit, all right, but it's from Francesca's fellow neurospicy dude, Lord Kilmartin.
I like him. I like that autistic man.
And they just sit in silence on the couch, and it's so cute, and we love to see it. Why is that so romantic? This is what love on the spectrum dreams of being. Anyway, Lord Samadani does show up, and so Lord Kilmartin dips. But not before he gives Francesca this, like, knowing little smile. It's so... he's dreamy. The Montriches are arguing about whether or not he should give up his club. A professional fighter who got really rich and had a failing restaurant enterprise? I wonder if this is how Hulk Hogan felt about Hulk Hogan's pasta mania. The Featheringtons go to a library exhibition, and Pen is fully dressed as the cover of a romance novel. Where's Fabio? Because this is a Harlequin Enterprises production now. I'm not complaining though, she looks fierce. A broken clock is right twice a day, and Lady Featherington comes out with a perfectly accurate statement at least once a season. This time it's, men love to explain the world to us. So true, Portia. So true. But Lord Debling seems impressed that she's taken it upon herself to read up on the Northwest Passage, which is where he's planning on going. Wait a minute, so he's going to the North Pole. So he's gonna be gone forever, and whoever marries him gets his house. Okay, file that in the pros column. Eloise is like, I don't think anybody here has even read a book, and Eloise, I swear to God, you are getting a little too old for this not like other girls routine. You just know that if this was modern times and she was at a party, she'd be like, oh, it's just girls here. I don't want to talk about Taylor Swift and Starbucks. Oh my God, Jason, so glad you're here. Come play beer pong with me. It's too much drama with these girls. Boo! Lord Debling gets real with Pen, which through the use of a thinly veiled hypothetical situation, he makes it clear that a wife of his would be home all the time alone. He would be off on his travels and she would be tending to the house. Quote, a practical match, but a happy one. And this is where I want to know from you guys, do you see this as a sweet, if non-romantic, sort of like pragmatic arrangement that he's proposing? Or do you feel like he is just looking for like a glorified house sitter with benefits? Yay or nay on Lord Debling? What do we think? Colin tries to have another threesome, but he can't because he saw Wild Things too many times and it freaked him out. Just kidding. It's because he's in love. And also because he's realizing that this like smarmy playboy persona he's been putting on is not him. He is a romantic doofus. Francesca runs into Lord Kilmartin on the street. She info dumps to him about how a nearby street performer could improve his song. They both take things hyper literally and are not very good at reading social cues, which leads to her feeling a little hurt when he suddenly runs off in the middle of the conversation. We find out why Cressida is such a bitch. It's because she lives in the house from Haunting of Hill House, and her parents are the parents from Matilda. And this right here, that's gay. Colin hangs out with his friends who suck, and he finally stands up to them. He's like, aren't you losers lonely? And they're like, no. But you just know that they go home at night and cry into their pillow that they can't just hug their friends without saying no homo. Male loneliness epidemic my ass. Fellas, is it gay to fall in love with a woman? Lord Debling asked Lady Featherington for permission to propose to Pen. Colin says he doesn't want to go to the ball tonight because he's going through it. He's suffering. And Lady Violet advises him that because he's a sensitive person, it makes sense that he would cultivate armor. It's just that he has to be wary not to wear it too much or it might stick. I love the way that she described him as sensitive, and it was clearly a positive. Like, more of that, please. Especially to men. When on her way out, she says, yeah, by the way, I think Lord Debling's gonna propose to Penelope tonight, but you don't care about that, do you? Well played, Lady Vi. The Queen wears this wig, and I don't really have anything to say about it, but it deserves its own slide. Horny-ass ballet performance at the ball. How come nobody has these at parties anymore? I would go to way more parties. Pen is watching it, and she's like, yeah... I need a hot marriage. She knows partly that she should accept Debling because it's basically exactly what she asked for at the beginning of the season, but the fact is that she is a sensual, romantic person at her core, and giving up even hope for that would be a huge cost. By the way, Lady Vi and Lady Danbury's hot brother keep talking and flirting, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Cressida and Eloise have a soft-spoken, affectionate back and forth, and then Cressida asks her to explain feminism to her. History will call them roommates. Lord Kilmartin sees Francesca at the ball, and he apologizes for running off, and he gives her the most romantic gift I could possibly imagine. He had the piece of music that the street performer was playing when they last talked rearranged to match the way that she envisioned it. He listened, he remembered exactly what she said, and he made it real for her. Fellas, take note. Prudence, who apparently took her sex ed classes in Alabama, has no idea that her boobs hurting a lot may be an indicator of pregnancy. So the baby brace is gonna be a real nail biter. Penn asks Debling if love might be on the table for them, and he's like, nah. Let me tell you, Cressida should marry Debling, and then he'll disappear for a million years. She can run the house, move Eloise in, and they can basically be Evelyn Hugo and Celia St. James in Spain. I'm so sorry, I can't talk about that book without crying. Colin interrupts Penn and Lord Debling's dance. Penn is seething, but instead of just telling her how he feels, he's like, you can't marry him, he's going to the North Pole. Cressida tells Debling that Colin lives across the street from Penelope, and he puts two and two together vis-a-vis the window seat and the good view. And on the one hand, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't want to propose to somebody who was in love with someone else either. But on the other hand, a little selfish. This is why he needs a gay wife. Colin follows Penn out to her carriage, and she asks him to shut up. And he says he cannot, because he has feelings for her. He has a total inability to stop thinking about her. He has dreams about her, and he actually prefers sleep because dreams are where he might find her. And she's like, say psych right now. And she's like, but we're friends, and this is the suffering I want to see. But then she's like, okay, I want to be more than friends. And look at his face when she touches his hair. And they kiss. And then there's no polite way to say this, but he fingers her to a Pitbull song, and it's everything. This scene was so good. The consent, the like lack of shame, the female pleasure, it was so healthy. And he's a gentleman. If you know, you know. And then they get to his house, and he's like, come on. And she's like, what? And he says, Penelope Featherington, are you gonna marry me or not? And now we have to wait until June to see what happens next. He doesn't know that she's Lady Whistledown, his arch nemesis. Oh, the drama. Everybody say thank you, Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton, because that kind of chemistry, see y'all in June.